Hey, how's it going? It's October 14th, 2022. This is your Daily Sweet Talk. A teaser was released for this year's Homestar Runner Halloween cartoon, which is very exciting for me. Nothing gets me more excited than a teaser for more Homestar Runner cartoons. And the cartoon is like their big cartoon they do every year now. Except last year it was a game. It was a Halloween point and click, which is probably even more exciting, just for how unprecedented that was in a lot of ways. I mean, first of all, a point and click starring the characters, not common. I can only think of one other time they did that, and it was Danger-esque, which is like not technically that. It was the entire cast of the characters. And it was a Halloween game, which is also they only had like one of those before, like a full Halloween game. And the Marshy game is not necessarily a full game in that same way. So last year there wasn't a cartoon, but it was basically a cartoon anyway. It was the stand-in for the cartoon. And this year, the teaser seemed to allude to the cartoon this year being like throwback themed. Think Email 7, Homestar Email 7, which was the conceit of that was it was like a throwback to one of Homestar's early emails that he checked, even though he didn't, because those aren't real cartoons. But it's like, here's this cartoon from way back in the day, of course, everyone remembers. And they were recreating like the old style and the old voice acting and stuff. The jokes weren't really the type of jokes they would make back then. In that early days, it was like the jokes were still like that era of Homestar Runner. But the style was very much that. So I'm interested in seeing what they're gonna do for this new cartoon, if that is what they're doing. I don't know if they're going for that same sort of thing or if it's like a different era, because the era they were going for was like Yellow Dello jumping jack contest or competition. I can't even think of the names of all the early cartoons. King of Town cartoon. I can't. Yellow Del. I don't know. I can't think of the names of all the early cartoons, but that era. But there's also, Strong Bad is in Jail, Bug and Mouth Disease era, which is also early and also a long time ago. So things have changed a lot since then. So that's another era they could like emulate for one of those cartoons. And I'm wondering if that's what they're going to do, because I feel like, so recently they re-uploaded one of the DVD bonus features, which was an unfinished or refinished it was a cartoon that was originally going to be added to the site, which was the second annual Homestar Halloween Awards. That was recently uploaded, this old bonus feature, which was a thing where people would vote on what they thought the best costume that year was of all the characters dressing up as costumes. This is a very self-indulgent Daily Sweet Talk talking about this topic. I mean, it's always that, but this is like for only Homestar Runner fans. This one is for. And I'm wondering if they're gonna have a vote again this year, because they had like votes the first 2 years, I think, maybe only the second year. I think the first 2 years though, and then they were making a cartoon to announce who the winner was, who got the most votes for the second year, and was never released except on the DVD years later. So I'm wondering if they're gonna do a vote again this year. That'll be exciting, if they're gonna allude to how they like have some jokes about how they stopped doing that for because it was like whatever. I'm really interested in seeing what they're gonna do with it this year.